Anytime you want to start. 3, 2, 1.
Good morning, almost afternoon. It is Sunday, February 28th, and I'm standing in a park area in Gothenburg, Sweden. We arrived in Gothenburg on Friday, so we basically took a plane from Tromsø, way up north in the Arctic Circle, back to Oslo, and then hopped a bus for 3.5 hours from Oslo down to Gothenburg, Sweden. And so Gothenburg is on the west coast of Sweden. We're, I don't know, maybe 3 hours from Denmark. Maybe a little bit less than that. Because I think people commute from Malmö, Sweden to Copenhagen on a fairly regular basis. Before I talk about what we're doing today, I should say it's very interesting. I was just reading this morning because part of this whole journey is trying to figure things out, like which public transportation we should take. So I was trying to determine what train we should take from Gothenburg to Copenhagen. And in that process, I discovered that Sweden is fairly overwhelmed by refugees right now. And so they're actually doing border checks and put up a small fence from Copenhagen and Denmark going into Western Sweden that way, which is kind of interesting because we hopped on a bus from Oslo to Sweden and no one asked for our passport, so who knows what's going on over here. But I have a feeling certain countries are a little bit overwhelmed. Anyhow, enough of politics. Here's our day. We're heading to this place called Slottsskogen, and it's supposedly a beautiful park with moose and penguins and other wildlife. So we have to go see that. Hopefully we can have like a little feeding zoo thing going on, and that's what we're looking forward to. Then we'll head to the train station to see if we can figure out how to do the train ticket thing for tomorrow to go to Copenhagen. And then we're heading to an area, pedestrian area called the Haga. And we'll film more about that later, but I'm really looking forward to a great cup of coffee and a really amazing cinnamon roll, like a giant cinnamon bun, but we'll get to that when we get there. Last night we ate at an amazing restaurant, and I'll tell you more about the name of that because I can't remember off the top of my head. Do you remember?
No.
It was right across from where we're staying in our Airbnb. Our Airbnb is not exactly centrally located, but it is in the center of like this one area within Gothenburg, and I can't remember the name of it.
Maria Plan?
No, that's the road, Maria Plan. It's something else. It starts with an M. Whatever, we'll get back to that. But we ended up eating, for the very first time, very traditional herring. As we would say in New York, herring. As I'm trying to say with a California accent, herring. Herring? Herring. Herring. Anyway, it was really good. It was not crazy, fishy, and weird at all. We had some Swedish meatballs. We had some cod. We had really local Swedish beer on tap from like Swedish microbreweries. And an amazing dessert with cinnamon and oat. And dinner was great last night, like really great traditional Swedish food. So I'm still pumped from that from last night because it was just amazing. Really simple, probably the cheapest meal we've had since we've been in Scandinavia. The alcohol might not have been all that cheap, but the food was really inexpensive. So anyway, we're walking right now towards Centrum and Slottsskogen and Maria Plan, and I'll be back soon. Ciao. Bye bye.
Ja, pengar!
sweet home. Good evening, everyone. I'm sitting here in our Airbnb. We're still in Gothenburg, and I have in front of me a bag from Cafe Husaren. We ended up taking a walk today through the most amazing park within a city. Okay, other than probably Central Park. There are other parks that are great too. But this park was very cool because in the middle of there were penguins that have been saved. I can't think of the kind of penguin that they are, but they're from, obviously like toward the South Pole.
From
Peru?
West Coast of South America.
Okay, Peru maybe? Tiny cute little penguins. There were 1 million of them on the planet 100 years ago, and now there are less than 10,000. So they're saving some penguins there. We got to see that today. And we kept strolling through this giant park and ended up with peacocks, sheep that have been saved, lots of ducks, and then there were 3 moose. So it was really a cool experience. We popped out on the other side of the park. We took Uber to the train station to get our train tickets for tomorrow to go to Copenhagen. And then we ended up walking toward, what is it called? Haga. It's Haga, H-A, maybe with a circle over it?
No.
No circle. H-A-G-A, Haga. But when I say Haga, I think that Swedes want me to say Haga, but it's not Haga. But it's somewhere in between, Haga, something like that. So Haga is the part of Gothenburg that is just filled with cafes. It's amazing here. Our latitude is kind of right around like Juneau, Alaska, and it's 32 degrees here, and people are out, the sun comes out, and everybody is sitting outside at cafes, and each cafe, they supply customers with blankets at every table. So you can have your coffee outside. Kids are everywhere. Crazy kids, it doesn't matter where you go, they're all the same. And they have blankets, and so you can sit outside. So we ended up stopping at Cafe Husaren supposedly they have the best cinnamon rolls ever. Cinnamon buns. I call them cinnamon rolls, but people call them buns. So here it is. You ready? Unbelievable. This is dinner tonight. Look at the size of this thing. Look at that.
The size of your head.
It's the size of my face. The size of my head. So here we are with this beautiful freaking cinnamon bun that we're gonna eat tonight and probably half of it tomorrow. They say it serves 4 to 8 people. So we're gonna have that. And you know, we told the girl in the cafe, she was cute, that yeah, we came all the way from California to get one of these cinnamon buns. She was really, really impressed. And then of course we have this tiny other little dessert because we thought it would be fun to have chocolate. They really like Snickers here, I think. It seems like anyhow, like a Snickers bar. So this is what they call a Snickers caca. So we're gonna have that. It looks like a little bit of chocolate and I don't know what, you know? It smells like peanut butter. It smells like a Snickers bar. So we're having that. And so that's the story of today. There's lots more to talk about, this whole experience of Airbnb and, you know, our Norwegian experience, and now we're in Sweden. Our Uber driver on the way back here, he's from Poland. He's been living here for 8 years. He said he speaks 50% Swedish because pretty much everybody speaks English and everybody has been incredibly lovely. So until next time, we're gonna eat our cinnamon bun and we'll talk more about Airbnb, train tickets and all that stuff, and, you know, practical things about choosing Airbnbs, because I think that there's a definite pattern to how much money you spend, the size of the Airbnb, and all the amenities, and really there's like a very practical way to really maximize your experience as you're doing the whole journey. So we'll talk about that tomorrow, when we get to Copenhagen.
Sounds good.
Yeah? Okay. Bye-bye.